Well, today we're going to really get into the nitty-gritty about skin. And I don't know, I know a lot of you have used my skin treatment for many years. It was my first category that I actually launched my entire company when I was 20 years old. I wrote the curriculum for makeup for John Robert Powers Modeling School, and they asked me to write it for skincare, and I'm like, I have no clue about skincare. I've never worked for a cosmetic company, and to me, I thought, I needed to probably have experience with a cosmetic company, but actually I took it more from an educational approach, and I was really trying to develop some research and some curriculum for my students so that they would really learn, what causes freckles and what causes blackheads and whiteheads and dryness, and eliminate their frustrations. And it was really interesting. It's sort of a God thing because I found a chemist in my neighborhood, and after I did all my research, I visited him and I asked him some things that I really found that were really critical, that I wanted to know what to do for my skin and for my students, but I couldn't find any product on the market that would back up my research. Therefore, a 9-step program started, and it never has stopped. And it really has helped thousands and thousands of women today and have never changed it. When you understand how skin works, you fix it. And that prescription's never going to change, because think about it, your skin's not going to change the way it works. And we have over, most of our body is water. I mean, 70% of our body is water. And when we're lacking something that we are, needing 70% of, we're going to get sick. And it can happen in the scalp, with our hair, to where our, we create more dryness and itchiness or dandruff. It can happen on our face. It can happen on our neck area, our décolleté. There are areas that age sooner because maybe we cleansed our skin well, but we didn't think about our décolleté. Your hands, legs. I mean, skin works the same way. It's our largest organ. So it really doesn't matter what area of your skin and how you work with it. It is a little different on your face because you are exposed to the sun all day long, and you're not wearing clothing on your face, but you need makeup, which is a form of protection. So I want to get into a little bit more of a science that really actually proves, and what I researched that I found, and I think it'll really make sense. It certainly made sense to me, and it's very simple. It will not change, and you will get that perfect skin that you can have as a youth. So if you'll follow along with me in this little book, this is a medical book that I've had for many, many years, and actually where I immediately saw, wow, this is really unusual. And if the skin starts out at birth as perfect skin, if you can see up close here, this is actually perfect skin, and there are little layers that start to come up, and each layer, in fact, we get a new layer of skin every 28 days. So we get a new start, but like baby skin is just perfect. It's just like flawless. No pimples, of course, no blackheads or whatever. But the minute we hit puberty, our sebaceous glands start overreacting. See how clean this pore is, and how beautiful the skin is because of that pore is so clean? But the minute we're born, as I said, we start generating new skin cells. And I'm going to turn to this page, if you can see this and kind of follow along with me. This is psoriasis, which is an excessive cell growth of dead skin, but it's a great example to show you how the skin will build up on the face. Over here is 1 day's dead skin growth under a microscope. So we get over 10 billion new skin cells, again, every day. So if that builds up on our skin and we don't remove those every day, what happens? On Monday, you get 10 billion. On Tuesday, you get 20 billion. On Thursday, you get 30. It just continually builds. So you don't want to go a week without exfoliating. And this is what I found is like, wow, if I don't exfoliate this off, how am I going to get moisture into the skin? Because the moisture is just going to absorb into that dead skin. And what happens if you can't get moisture into the skin, your skin actually, your sebaceous glands really think the skin is dry, and basically they are going to shoot up oil to the skin surface to help it out. But if those pores are clogged, if you've got that dead skin buildup, it cannot come out. Now, these are the 4 types of acne. The first being a blackhead, which is oil that is coming up from the sebaceous gland where the pore is clogged, and the blackhead on the oil hits the surface and it oxidizes and it turns dark. And I'm sure you've seen examples of this in your life. Also, this is a whitehead, and it can't really come to the surface, but it balloons underneath, but it does show that you've got a very large clogged pore there. And then this is a pustule. This is the kind you want to pinch. You know how you get those little white little pussy areas and you go, oh, I've just got to get rid of that one. And please, ladies, don't. It's going to tear down the cell wall and destroy that, and it will cause scarring. So it balloons underneath the skin and causes pressure to come up. Many times we think that we will get, if we put oil on our skin, it's going to clog the pore, but what happens, our oil will come up within our bodies from our sebaceous gland, and that is what clogs our pores, is the overproduction of the oil that cannot come out because of that dead skin. This is nodular acne, which is adult acne. It really just is, you know, the skin is just grown over. It's very very clogged. Sometimes that has to be lanced to open up. So these are the 4 types of acne. And when I did my study, I realized, okay, if all of this could be normalized by getting water to the skin, then the sebaceous glands would not have to produce any oil. And if you don't have to produce oil, you would never get acne. And if you get moisture into the skin and the skin is hydrated, it immediately signals to these sebaceous glands that you don't need oil up to the surface. Therefore, you normalize your skin. So there's no such thing as oily skin, dry skin. It's all of what you're doing that's causing that problem. So if that oil cannot come out again because of the dead skin buildup, it's just going to balloon underneath the skin. Does that make sense? I mean, simply, it's so simple, and we think, wow, you know, I put all these potions and lotions on my skin, and like, for instance, over here, and you're like, well, I just, you know, I really don't have the time to exfoliate every day. And in fact, I've always been told that if you exfoliate every day that you might, you know, damage the skin, and I was told the same thing. However, if you don't get the dead skin off every day, you can't get the water to your skin. So what we want to do is take you back to perfect normal skin where the sebaceous glands don't overreact. You don't have a buildup of dead skin. You can get moisture to the skin that will in turn kick this into a very sedate state of normalization, and then you can achieve the perfect skin. So let's talk about how we do that. Some of the things that we think and we ask ourselves as women is when we're purchasing things is, oh, that's pretty packaging, or boy, that's sure gotten a lot of press, or that's probably that might be the trend. I've been reading a lot of things in magazines about it, and we are kind of just overwhelmed with information that sometimes we really do have to kind of go inward and say, does that make sense? Does that really work? It seems to me like that if a young girl starting out has problematic skin with maybe being oily, and then as she gets older, she may not be as oily, because usually as we get older, our sebaceous glands don't produce as much oil, so then we get drier. But it really doesn't matter at any age, whatever the problem is, it's all fixed with getting moisture to the skin. Now the key, and this is the key is doing it in an order. Now, we don't wash anything that's delicate or that we know doesn't have to go through a process. Think about it. We do it with our dishes. You have oil on the pans, you have oil on the plates, you have all kinds of foods that you got to get off. So you got to kind of have to rinse it first, right? Before you can start to really cleanse, you've got to loosen all that up. And then you've got to cleanse it, you've got to scrub it, whatever. And then you want to rinse it again, and then you want to dry it. Same with cars, same with anything. We have to go in an order. I mean, you would never condition your hair and shampoo it and expect it to respond. And if you've ever tried to even use a conditioner and shampoo in one, it just doesn't work after a few times. So if we don't figure out how we can really take care of our skin and our hair and all of the, you know, the things that we wind up being frustrated about, we can really spend a lot of money, and you're not saving your face. You only get one. And the one thing that you have to know is to get water in. So let's start. There is a wonderful Did You Know section on my website now, and we're continually adding more information. You know I'm the information weirdo, but I do want to give you enough information so that you can make your own decisions in all areas of beauty. But there are a lot of things that I think we're not taught, and we really don't know, and you know, we don't know sometimes what we don't know that can make us more beautiful. So before you go to the counter, before you know, maybe even go through your drawer that you have already of skincare products, let's work together on visualizing a method that really does make sense. First, we have to take off our makeup. One of the things that I think is so critical, and where most of our makeup and darker colors start to, you know, stain the skin, is in our eye area. And it's critical that you remove your eye makeup with an oil-based product. And I do an oil makeup remover that does not leave an oil residue in the eye area. But when you take off your eye makeup, you want to literally, I have a little pad that you literally put onto the eye, and it comes directly off onto the pad, not back onto your skin. Therefore, you don't have to use a Kleenex or a washcloth to take that off. Like, as much eye makeup as I wear, you know, I would look like a spotted, you know, dog, because I would have all this color all over my eyes, and then I'd have to worry about taking that off. So the cleansing of the eye area is very delicate. Think about your eye area as like tissue paper. It's very, very delicate. And what we do in that eye area over and over and over really can cause some permanent damage. That's why I hate waxing. Waxing just really rips up your skin around the eye area, as well as pulling the hair out by the root. So whatever you're removing with eye makeup remover, it has to be very delicate and very soft so that it comes off in one wipe. I don't like water-based eye makeup removers because we know water won't take off our eye makeup, but with the chemicals that are in a water-based eye makeup remover will break up your eye makeup, but then the chemicals can dry out the eye area. It can also make you tear more, and you don't even realize that it's the eye makeup remover that you're using. It's probably that's causing the problem, because a water-based will travel into the eye and causing some irritation. So an alternative is something that will remove it very quickly and lightly. Also, the next cleansing category that we really focus on is cleansing lotion. And I don't like to use a cleansing cream. It's very difficult to take off. It's heavy. It's, you know, it's just thicker. You have to rub harder. And I designed the cleansing lotion so that it really breaks up the oils in your skin, and it also takes off your makeup. Now, it's not going to cleanse deeply, and you don't want it to, because you've got to get makeup off before you can cleanse the skin well. And the cleansing lotion just simply loosens up the makeup and the oil in your skin and prepare it for deep cleansing. We all get some oil in our skin during the day, and if you can't take that oil off, you can't get water through the pore, because if that has come up to the surface and you have a little oiliness, maybe you're not getting a pimple from it, but we all get some natural oils, and we want that. We just don't want a problematic skin caused from an overproduction of oil. So we want to break up oil with another oil, and we know it in cooking, don't we? We know that in Ivory soap, we know in any cleansing product, to break up oil on pots and pans, it has to be oil-based. So we have to break up our natural oils with another oil before we can put water in the skin. So your eye makeup remover pads and your cleansing lotion are the first two steps to cleansing and taking off all that stuff on your skin and breaking up the makeup and oil. The next thing we do is freshener. And you may say, what is a freshener? Well, a freshener is not an astringent, because astringents have a lot of alcohol in them, and they really can dry out your skin. You just don't need anything that strong. Toners don't do a lot. They're pretty much water. And I developed what I call freshener, and it is a menthol based that literally cools down your skin, and when you cool down your skin automatically absorbs more moisture. And it's like lifting up that dead skin. It bubbles it up so that when we do use the exfoliant, it sloughs off the dead skin. It's kind of priming your face for that exfoliation, where you can exfoliate every day. And the one thing, if you don't get anything else I've said today, if you don't exfoliate every day, you're not going to get moisture into your skin on 24 hours. You're going to go hours without having a retention of water in your skin. And if you think of a prune, and you put a prune in water and it smooths out, and let's say you put that prune in oil and you put it on the table and it stays smoothed out, the prune absorbed the water and the oil kept the water in the skin. But you can't put a prune in oil and the oil go in the prune. It's like your skin. And all the oil bases that I have designed and formulated in my skincare will not go into the skin. It's too large of a molecule. But we use oil to lock in, which I'll go into in a moment. But in order to get moisture through, you've got to remove the dead skin. So the freshener preps it. It's just like if you burn a pan. You let it soak before you scour it and ruin the Teflon. You do the freshener, and then next you do the honey and almond exfoliant. This is not an alpha hydroxy base. It's not anything that is going to over exfoliate your skin. There's no polyethylene, which you need to check on some of your exfoliants and see if it has polyethylene beads. It really can scratch your skin. You know that we've all been told not to use Kleenex on our face because it has wood pulp in it and it can scratch the skin. Well, imagine what plastic balls will do. So you want to exfoliate very lightly, and my honey and almond is designed to where the honey is an antibacterial. So if you do have anything going on your skin that you really need to repair and to clear up, it really helps to do that quickly. And the honey is a great toner and a natural tightener to the skin as well. And then the almonds are used from the meat of the almond, not the shell, so that it sloughs off the dead skin. So the honey in that formulation acts as a protector to not over exfoliate or scrub the skin. So by doing the freshener and then the honey and almond next, you are very safe in exfoliating the skin in a very healthy, natural glow. The next step would be your mint pack. Now, the mint pack is only to be used once a week, and more is not better. I do a bentonite mud from the sea, which has been used on farms and ranches for years. If livestock is like bitten by a snake, then the farmers would put that on that affected area to draw out the venom and not hurt the wound. So it's a wonderful, and I'm sure you've heard about mud baths in spas. It draws out toxins naturally without over opening the pores to where you're going to get larger pores. So I also formulated the mint pack with mint, because when you cool the skin, you're going to absorb more moisture. When you heat the skin at the steaming facial, you're going to open up the pores. And yes, you can clean out the pores, but why open them up and then try to close and open up to try to clean out? Because then when you open your pores up, you're just going to constantly get larger pores. So when you start to shrink the pores by taking water in and then the bentonite and the mint paste pulls that out without causing any irritation. You're not even going to see it. It'll just go away. It starts to really clean out that pore channel that I was showing you right here, so that you don't have the clogging and you can get that moisture into the skin. So, review quickly. You cleanse, exfoliate, and then you deep cleanse once a week with the mint pack. Now it's time to drink the water. Now it's time that your skin can really absorb the moisture all the way to the base of the skin. And what a difference you will feel as you've cooled the skin, and how much deeper and just how much hydrating the effect that you will have when you put your moisture lotion on. And the moisture lotion that I do is water-based, and it doesn't flash off the skin. You need to apply your moisture lotion, massage it in, and then within about 15, don't wait more than 15 minutes. Then you're going to lock it in with your night cream at night. And the night cream is formulated to be very, very sheer. It will not clog. The oils that I've designed will not go into the skin, which is very important. It sets on the surface to lock in your moisture. If you're not locking your moisture in, you might as well not put your moisture on. It will feel good for about 15 minutes, but when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be dry. So one depends on the other for the results that you know that you can get. The eye cream is the next step, and that was the very first product that I ever have made in my company. It was eye cream. I remember when I turned 20, I went to a store that's no longer around, and I loved it. But I went to every counter, and I said, tell me, what eye cream, would be the best. And everyone told me something different. It was quite interesting. And that's when I went to the chemist, and I said, I want to lock in all of my moisture around my eye area. And I'm getting a different message from every one that I talk to. So what would make the most sense? I want to lock it in like if I put a Ziploc bag on my eyes. And he says, well, you can't put water in it, because if you put water in it, it will leave an escape door for water to go out at night. And I'm like, then let's take the water out. And we designed the formula to where the water is totally locked in until you take off your eye cream in the morning. And you're getting the maximum results. So you won't be losing that water at night. You will really see a huge difference. In fact, ladies, I even do the eye cream all over my face and my neck at night once a week. I just want to make sure the retention is as deep as it can go, and especially in the winter coming up where it's drier in the home. You're going to feel drier, but you won't if you're locking in that moisture. In the mornings you get up, you'll feel dewy, you'll feel refreshed. Your skin will feel just like it did when you went to bed. So I hope this makes sense, because I really try to share my message with women so that you will be motivated enough and understand enough of why we need to go through these steps to get the results. There's not a potion and a lotion that's going to work. There's not one product and all that's going to work. If it did, believe me, I'd be coming out with it. But your skin just won't work any other way. And I want you to know the things that you're going to look back on in 10 years and go, thank you, Christy. Thank you, Christy, for my tween that knew it, for my granddaughter, for myself. Because, I think you can look 10 to 15 years younger than most of those friends who really haven't done it. And not to mention how healthy this will be for your skin and for you. So stay tuned for more videos. Here I am. Call us, ask questions. We have a fabulous mail order division. Jennifer Snyder runs the division. She's been with me for 15 years. She rocks it. She can help you so much when you call and go over any of these areas that you've asked me to go over in this video. I get emails. I get so many questions throughout, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to put it in a video and talk to you and share this with you. But hey, it doesn't stop here. Call us, 800-346-4888. 4599. Personally ask for Jennifer Snyder, and she'll be there for you, and so will I. Until then, hey, happy skin.